Round 4 of the Daytona DMAX Championships for 2018. We're on to our heavy enduro. A fascinating qualifying session. Very, very close out there with Richard Allen back on pole position once again. EJ, we've got some drivers to talk to. Take it away.
We have indeed. So start off with you, Damien. So interesting qualifying. Most of it was under yellows. How did you see? Did you get any clean laps in?
I think I got 1 or 2 clean laps in. Yeah, it was a bit frustrating. You know, when I thought I had space, you know, around the next corner, there was a yellow flag being waved. But I did a few points. I dropped back off the guy in front of me and just went for it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, actually.
Excellent. Is it first time you're here at GYG, or have you been here before?
No, it's my first year in DMAX and it's my first time at GYG. But I was up here practicing Friday, and I did 2 practice sessions yesterday. So yeah, I feel quite comfortable. It's nice. It's a good track.
Excellent stuff. Is there any spots of the circuit you like the most, or is it all?
Yeah. Do you know what? I really like the top corner. And that's where I seem to be, you know, when I was coming up behind people, that's where I seem to be gaining, you know, the most amount of time. The kart felt incredible as well, so we'll see. Yeah, the race should be good.
Excellent stuff. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Moving on to Matt Spencer. Good to see you, mate. First time I've seen you this year here down at DMAX. GYG, brand new course for you, I'm assuming. 3rd on the grid. Got to be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with it, to be honest. It's the 2nd time I've been here, but never in a DMAX, completely different to the other karts that I've driven. So, yeah, we'll just see how the race goes now. Just try and stick with the front 2 and then see what happens from there. It's a long race. So.
We've just seen Andy score a 3rd in his Into Enduro. I know the rivalry that goes between the two of you. How good would it be to come away with a podium, maybe even more, to rub it in for Andy for the end of the day?
No, I won't rub it in. It's you know, I always want him to do really well. So then, you know, hopefully I can emulate what he's done in that last round. So, yeah.
Well, best of luck, Matt. Well done. Hope you have a good one.
And then finally, we have Tariq here, qualified 2nd place. Tariq, how is it out there?
It was great. We are top 15 drivers in 1 second, so it's very competitive. I don't think there is much into reading the lap time and the position. It was all about having a clear lap and also mitigating the yellow flags. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting race.
Excellent stuff. They're calling you over now, so we'll let you go nice and early. Best of luck in the race for you, Tariq. Well, it looks like your microphone. Is it back?
It's back now.
It's back.
Yes. Yeah, it's so close, isn't it? I was just having another little look at the timing. Top 16 covered by a 2nd. That's remarkable. Once again, first time a lot of these drivers have been here, or 2nd time, or first time they've been here around in the DMAX. It's going to be a really, really close one, this. And all mixed up regards to the championship as well. It's going to be very, very interesting to see some of these drivers who here for the first time or having a one-off. They'll be fully going for it. Meanwhile, you've got your drivers up at the front like Richard, Tariq. You've got Alex Pritchard and Rob Bennett all in there as well. Real mix here. I've no idea how this one's going to turn out.
No, it is going to be an interesting one, and we will look forward to it.
Round 4 of the heavy enduro for Daytona DMAX. Let's do this. We are ready for round 4 of the 2018 DMAX Heavy Enduro. Let's run through our grid then for the start of this 1-hour race. Richard Allen starts from pole position, looking to extend his championship lead. Alongside him on the front row is Tariq Almou. Matthew Spencer makes his first appearance in DMAX this season. He starts from 3rd on the grid. Alongside him, winner last time out, Lee Whitney. Row 3 is Paul Manton and Damien Holmes, 2 drivers having their best qualifyings of the year so far. Row 4 is a very interesting one. Rob Bennett and Alex Pritchard, 3rd and 2nd in the championship at the moment, respectively. They will start, as we say, from row 4. Row 5 sees Vinod Hirani back up in the top 10 for the first time since PFI, and our leading super heavyweight on the grid, Darren Holiday. Row 6, Wayne Dunham and Peter Hayes start alongside each other, and then row 7 is Vince Cogswell and Adam Moore. Row 8, Darren Hughes, 2nd in super heavyweight, and Ian DeVere. And then 17th place, Nick Rowlands, 3rd in super heavy, and Blaise Sienko. Row 10, Lee Schnitzler and Jonathan McLeod. Row 11, Richard Newton and Mark Ford. Row 12, Paul Studd and Robert Pertak. Row 13, Gary Martin and Eamon Carson. Row 14 is Tim Watts and Paul Grucci. And row 15, 29 karts in the field. Steve Porter starts from 29th place. We've seen 2 cracking races so far from the lights and the inters. Can the heavies round off the first session's action with a good one? Here we go then, round the final corner. Richard Allen starts on pole position. Tariq Almou, the green flag is waving, and away we go for 1 hour round GYG. Very even start on the front row, and Allen leads away from Almou, with Spencer having popped himself into third place. The rest of them filing up the order. Rob Bennett's having a little look and trying to get up through the positions. Alex Pritchard as well fighting alongside, but a good clean start there from the heavies.
Excellent start by all, so nice clean start, no real argy-bargy while we're going around, so we've got a couple of abreast down in third place, so good battle there, and a bit more action at the back there as well, couple side by side through the carousel section.
Tariq Almou already under pressure from Matthew Spencer there in third place, and that's good news for Richard Allen, because Richard Allen already has, what would you say, a 2 kart length lead, making it 3, maybe even 4 by now as we finish lap 1. Richard Allen leads, Tariq Almou is second, Matt Spencer third, Lee Whitney fourth. So the 1, 2, 3, 4 on the grid has remained so at the end of lap 1.
Over the first lap with a 51.9.
Battle for second, side by side, Almou and Spencer going side by side, but Almou holds on to the position for now. Lee Whitney's watching there in fourth. Rob Bennett's also up to 6th place. He's displaced Damien Holmes on the first lap. He's now trying to make his way past Paul Manton.
There was a yellow flag up at Spoon Corner. Obviously, one of the drivers falling behind the grid. We'll let you know who that was as they cross the line.
But end of lap 2, Richard Allen has a good lead now by a second ahead of Tariq Almou. Matt Spencer third, Lee Whitney fourth, coming under pressure now from Paul Manton. Then it's Rob Bennett, Damien Holmes, Alex Pritchard, Darren Holiday, really in good form at the moment. Oh, as someone gets very wide out of turn 1 and really rides the curb, but Darren Holiday, super heavyweight leader, and also up to 9th overall.
So it was Eamon Carson who went off over at the Spoon Corner.
Up
So
the inside,
he's gone down.
contact between Rob Bennett and Paul Manton through the carousel. That's going to offer the opportunity to Damien Holmes to try and get back through. This is all going up through compression now. Alex Pritchard's in there as well, and Alex Pritchard has got past Damien Holmes.
Very close racing indeed. So a bit of argy-bargy. I don't know if Race Control are going to have a quick look at that, but it looks like everyone got through unscathed. So,
and down the inside, here comes Bennett trying to get past Paul Manton. Paul Manton's off, he's on the grass. And he's back on now, and now he's having contact with Alex Pritchard. Damien Holmes is on the inside. They're 3 wide going up the Dragon Straight, and Holmes has got through. Oh, there's more contact towards the back end of the field. The heavies really getting the shoulders out in this one.
big contact with that group through Spoon. So as they come down now into the carousel section, Race Control really going to be keeping an eye on this. Alex Pritchard frustratingly trying to get through that grid.
Well,
he's still gone down a couple of places, hasn't he? So.
Sorry, DJ, it's back to how it was. Manton from Bennett, then Holmes and Pritchard. Darren Holiday watching on in all of this. He's got the best seat in the house at the moment.
Indeed he has. So Richard Allen absolutely sailing away with it at the moment. Tariq still in second, Matthew Spencer right behind him, and Lee Whitney. So that
driving standards flag out for Rob Bennett. So that is a formal warning there. The black and white diagonal flag coming out.
So Race Control clearly not happy with something he's done out there.
Tariq Almou and Spencer fighting for second place. Spencer trying to go round the outside through the carousel. Tariq Almou under a lot of pressure at this stage of the race. And up the inside goes Matt Spencer into compression. Doesn't get the move done. Lee Whitney still there in fourth place.
And all this time, this is allowing the group of three cars behind them to catch up.
Once again, Tariq Almou is very, very vulnerable. And through goes Spencer round the outside on the run down to carousel. My goodness me, it's not often you see that. And Almou has looked vulnerable there for the last couple of laps, and Spencer has pounced and is through to second. But Lee Whitney no longer on the rear bumper of Tariq Almou, which will be good news for Almou. So that's the first time in this race he comes across start finish now.
New gap
and he
for the
hasn't
race
got
lead.
Someone breathing down his neck. What's the gap?
The new gap is 0.6 of a second, so he is catching at a vast rate of knots. Lap times half a second faster.
He is indeed. They're coming down towards carousel now. Now the question is, it's the old cliche, catching is one thing, passing is another. And definitely around this place, lots of high-speed corners with high-speed entries. mean it is very, very tricky to overtake round here. There are overtaking opportunities, but it's one where a driver has to be fully committed, DJ, to the move to make it stick.
He does indeed. Yeah, say it's very
But
fast.
look at the gap now. A load of time taken out of Richard Allen
I'm
going
curious
down
to
through
see the
Devil's
times.
Elbow.
The
And here
gap
they go.
now,
Up
2/10.
I think it's less than 2/10 now because Matt Spencer is right on the rear bumper of Richard Allen. He's practically pushing him up the hill. He's going down the inside into Spoon and he's got him. A great move by Matt Spencer, never giving in, and Matt Spencer hits the lead.
So we've got another close battle out there. It is between Lee Schnitzler and Darren Hughes for 13th place. They're very close. Lee Schnitzler almost pushing him into the Spoon section. And almost looks like he's gone for an overtake. Yeah, so Lee Schnitzler moves down the inside. He has made the move complete. Yeah, so great move from Lee Schnitzler there.
Very, very good overtake indeed from another driver, ever improving in DMAX as the season goes on. Now back to our leaders, going up the Dragon Straight. Spencer was a little bit wide coming out of the block final corner. Has left him a little bit vulnerable to Richard Allen.
Now, this is interesting to see. Richard Allen's times now.
Contact between the lead pair as Richard Allen had a little look up the inside. They've both kept going, but Richard Allen, I don't know whether Spencer left half a door open there, but there was definite contact between first and second. This is a new circuit to him though.
Oh, and Rob Bennett with a move. Sorry, Rob Bennett down the inside of Lee through the Devil's Elbows. So Rob Bennett moving up into 4th place.
Rob Bennett definitely on the move then. That is 4th place. Next up on his target list is Tariq Almou in 3rd.
Another position change. That's Lee Schnitzler has moved up past.
Is that Peter Hayes?
I think it was indeed Peter Hayes. So it was a good move round the club corner. So Lee Schnitzler up one more position. But moved up a position.
Jonathan McLeod running a little bit wide there. Battle going up the Dragon Straight. This is the Pertac-Sienko battle again. They're side by side, and I think Sienko's going to make it through. Yes, he is, as he gets on the inside line, up over the hill, and Blaise Sienko retakes 17th place. And that's allowed Rob Bennett to close right back in again as they go through compression.
Oh,
and
lots of argy-bargy on the start-finish straight.
Side by side they go into Devil's Elbow. Tariq Almou holds on for now. He's a little bit offline as well as they go through Paddock Corner, and on the inside goes Rob Bennett. This side there's pod-to-pod contact, and through turn 1 they go, and Rob Bennett is up to 3rd.
Excellent move from Rob Bennett. Tiny bit forceful, but still made the move done. And a very good move. He'll have a big smile underneath that helmet, I suspect. Racing further down the grid, we've got Adam Moore and Lee Schnitzler as they cross the line now. This is for 13th place. They are very close to each other, and they've got back markers ahead.
Going up the Dragon Straight, can Schnitzler make the move into Spoon? He's looking for it, needs to be deep on the brakes to do it. He's up the inside, he's done it. Great move by Lee Schnitzler. And now can he keep hold of it? He's got to go defensive into Carousel because they're still side by side, but no, Lee Schnitzler's got that. Really good couple of corners from Lee Schnitzler, continuing to impress. They also seem to be catching Lee Whitney at this stage of the race as well. They're in 5th.
Damien Holmes, is that? I'll check the time. So the gap 1.2. He is lapping a little bit
Manson
faster.
runs very, very wide out of turn 1. Does not want to be doing that too often. Battle for 4th is on between Tariq Almou and Lee Whitney. Oh, in fact, look, it's Rob Bennett and Tariq Almou getting together as well. So this is as they've come through the traffic that Tariq Almou is right on the rear bumper of Rob Bennett again. So this is for 3rd place, I apologise. But Tariq, all of a sudden, getting very, very racy up on Rob Bennett, and is trying to go through Spoon. I think he's done it. I think he's got through. Now, can he hold on to it coming down through Carousel? Yes, he can. Tariq Almou out of nowhere is back into 3rd place. On the inside goes Rob Bennett.
What
big
a
dive
lunge! What a lunge!
Into the last corner, and he's going to take 3rd place back of Tariq Almou.
Take
now,
that,
Lee
Tariq,
Whitney,
is what he's just said under that helmet.
Lee Whitney has got to get through this traffic as well, but if he can, he's going to get right into the back of this battle again for 3rd. and is now really under attack. There's almost a bit of contact down into the carousel as Lee Whitney goes very defensive over to driver's left and holds on to the position.
Yeah, Damien Holmes was half a second faster than Lee Whitney on that last lap, so definitely gaining some time. As you see them coming through the Devil's Elbow now, coming into the last corner, are we going to see a Rob Bennett special into the last corner? No, we're not. So stays right behind as the crowd next to them cheering them on.
He's got to get the run good up the Dragon Straight to have a go into Spoon. I don't think he's quite got it. Meanwhile, the battle for third is still going on as Rob Bennett is having trouble getting past some of the traffic. Tariq Almou putting him under pressure as well. And I think Tariq Almou was having a bit of a gesture there to one of the marshals to complain about weaving.
So blue flags for the race leader there to help get past the back markers as they do now up onto the Dragon Straight. All contact into the Devil's Elbow. There's a car completely sideways. He's got back straight, but it's Rob Bennett and it's
Tariq Almou. They're side by side. Tariq Almou back up the inside into third. And this is all trying to get past that traffic, that battle between the 40 and the 22 we were talking about, and they're still
there's more contact.
More contact and more arm waving. Well, they're having a right little conflab as they go back up the Dragon Straight, but Tariq Almou back into third place.
The back markers trying to also get past. They're going so slow out the corners, the back markers are eager to get back past.
And look out behind. Lee Whitney and Damien Holmes are still there as well in 5th and 6th place. And Paul Manton's involved now as well. Paul Manton's closed in as well in the blue and white suit into 7th place.
Coming into a very technical part of the circuit now, so we'll have to keep an eye on them. Rob Bennett right behind Damien Holmes there as they come through. Tariq. And very, very close indeed.
All tripping over one another are the leaders and the back markers, but here we go. Tariq Almou still there in 3rd place, 4th place for Rob Bennett. They're side by side through turn 1, and they're going to be side by side going up the straight. One of the back markers is trying to get involved as well. What is he doing?
Smoke off the tyres as they rub bumpers.
Well, it's not often that you see that, one of the back markers getting involved. Lee Whitney's now trying to get in there as well in 5th place. It's chaos out there. It's chaos in the heavies, but still Tariq Almou in 3rd. Up the inside, is that Lee Whitney going through to 4th?
It is Lee Whitney down the inside of Rob Bennett.
There's a huge shove from Rob Bennett. Lee Whitney's not happy about that at all. And look at Damien Holmes, he's still in there as well. And Paul Manton, this is crazy. This is fantastic stuff.
It's a massive cluster with back markers and race leaders trying to get through. And because the race leaders are better than the back markers are eager to get back past, which is absolutely fine. So absolutely crazy racing from these guys as they cross the start-finish line.
Tariq Almou's 3rd, Rob Bennett 4th, Lee Whitney 5th, Damien Holmes 6th and Paul Manton 7th. Who knows who's going to take this final podium position? Lee Whitney looks up the inside, going up over the hill. My goodness me! I've never seen someone do that in DMAX this morning. This is brilliant stuff, and he's through. He's passed Rob Bennett with arguably the move of the day. Got to say, right now, the two drivers being quite sensible in this are Holmes and Manton, just sitting there and side by side again are Whitney and Bennett. Bumping pod to pod once again, and Bennett's through.
Whitney going slightly wide from the contact, putting a wheel on the grass, but still right on his tail. Damien Holmes taking full advantage and is right on Lee Whitney's tail also.
Yeah, but he's just sitting there. He's sitting there nice and patiently because something needs to happen.
He's waiting for something to go wrong. As they cross the line now, they're steaming down up the Dragon Straight now, heading up towards Spoon, heads down, they're looking for that slipstream. Tariq still gaining that gap. So Lee Whitney still behind, not close enough for a move this time into Spoon. As they all negotiate their round, Damien Holmes getting quite close as they're now down into the carousel section. He's looking behind in the worst possible place, and Rob Bennett's looking to the outside. Is he going to get a cut back across the start-finish line? He gets a little bit squirrely as they go into turn 1, and now heads down, get that slipstream up into Spoon Corner.
A 1 hour endurance race has just turned into a 10-minute sprint for the final place on the podium here today at Glannygores. At the moment, Tariq Almou holds that position, but he's coming now into the area of the circuit where we know he's vulnerable. He's immediately gone defensive on the inside. Lee Whitney's having a little look on the inside of Rob Bennett for 4th. not able to make it through. Holmes and Manton are still there as well, and it's going to leave him very vulnerable to Damien Holmes through.
And that's Rob Bennett with a
Spoon.
move down the inside of Spoon. He's got past
He's
Tariq,
through.
and Tariq, Rob Bennett's got through. So Rob Bennett up into third place.
But we've seen Tariq Almou fight back before. Unfortunately, it was on his run down to Carousel, where he's been vulnerable through the whole race, where Bennett got him. And, oh, look, Whitney's trying to find his way through as well on this lap to take 4th place.
Tariq really struggling through that final section there, and Rob Bennett has gained a small gap already. Looks like no bumping board going out to this pack.
I don't think they're going to pay attention.
I don't think they're going to pay attention to that either.
But Rob Bennett still there in 3rd place. Now, Tariq Almou under pressure.
Lee Whitney with a move around the outside of Tariq.
Now, let's see, what will the run be like coming down into Carousel? Actually, it's all right. Almou doesn't have to go defensive.
Still struggling to get past the second back marker. Don't think he's realised yet that it is 3rd place. He has realised now. And what a cheeky move. And Rob Bennett gets right back at him.
Well, that was a very opportunistic piece of driving from Tariq. He's up the inside again into compression. Has he made it sink? Yes, he has. Through and into 3rd goes Tariq Almou. He got the run on Rob Bennett. He compromised his line through Carousel and nabbed him back. He's covering the inside line because he knows Rob Bennett likes a dive.
Oh, and that's a
down
move
through,
on the back part, and that's Damien Holmes has gone back 1 position.
Yes, he has indeed. Paul Manton is now up to 6th place. Now, can Paul Manton close in on this trio? Lee Whitney, look how close they are going up over the top of the hill. Lee Whitney sticks it down the inside on Rob Bennett and takes 4th place. Great move there by Lee Whitney. Can Lee Whitney now get past Tariq Almou? Almou almost goes defensive into Carousel. Good speed for Tariq through Carousel, and he holds on to 3rd for now.
Lee Whitney looking down the inside into compression. Lee Whitney down the inside. Goes to the inside of Lee Whitney. It's 2 positions into 1 corner. Fantastic move. They're really close through there as Bennett's very wide. And Lee looking to the inside, makes the move complete, and that's put Tariq in a good position up Dragon Straight.
Tariq's going to take 4th here. He's got the run, but that was a fair move for me from Lee. Rob got very, very wide out of the last corner. Lee put himself on the inside, did the block pass, and there was nothing Rob Bennett could do to stop him coming through.
No, excellent stuff. So Bennett.
Oh, on the inside goes Tariq through Carousel, and he's through and into 3rd. Rob Bennett's up on the curb to try and retake 4th. No, don't look at Holmes.
Lose it, and then Holmes gains the place.
And takes 5th place
Bit
away
of contact.
from Bennett.
Rob Bennett with a bit of contact and gets back past Damien Holmes.
Oh, now that was borderline for me from Rob Bennett.
He may get a warning for that, and that's a lot for Bennett.
He's gone down the inside of Lee Whitney again, pushes Lee Whitney wide. This is going to end in tears.
Rob Bennett is on a very thin piece of ice here with contact. Lee Whitney's looking to the inside.
But this is good news now for Tariq Almou, because he's been able to get a little bit away from the chaos that is occurring behind him now for 4th place.
He has indeed. He's managed to gain a 9/10 of a gap between these guys. So, but as we saw last time, he lost that same time earlier. But with only 3 minutes remaining, it looks a bit certain, really.
As alongside for 3rd place now, Tariq Almou and Rob Bennett. They're gonna make huge contact through turn 1. But Rob Bennett was on the inside. Look at Lee Whitney going on the inside.
Oh, they're sideways.
More contact. They're rubbing. Holmes has gone round the outside into 4th place. Manson's up there as well. Well, to be honest, and that's a full course yellow. I thought a full course yellow might come for McLeod being off. Now the question will be, were any of those moves done whilst the full course yellow was out?
I don't think it was. I only saw the full course yellow after that move was complete. And with only, a minute left, minute 10 seconds.
We're green. We're back to green.
Oh, we're back to green already.
So great work from the marshals to get that up and underway again. Now let's just take a breather and look what's happened, because it looks to me like Rob Bennett has edged out a gap now for 3rd. He has. Damien Holmes is up to 4th. Lee Whitney is 5th. Tariq Almou 6th, but he's got Paul Manton all over the rear bumper of him now. Manton going this way and that, trying to find a way past Tariq Almou for 6th. Oh, a bit of a push there from Paul Manton, but Tariq stays strong on the inside.
There's another car off in the same place as McLeod went off earlier. As our race leader
comes round the final corner to see the checkered flag. Matt Spencer wins round 4 of the Daytona DMAX Heavy Enduro. Richard Adam takes 2nd place and is very pleased with that. Now we wait. Rob Bennett is going to take 3rd place. There he is across the start finish. Damien Holmes takes a fantastic 4th. 5th place to Lee Whitney. 5th place to Tariq Almou. 6th place to Lee Whitney. 7th place to Paul Manton. 8th place for Vince Cogswell. What a day he's had after a spin in qualifying. 9th place will be Vinod Hirani. Here he comes across start finish. Fantastic result for Vinod. 10th for Alex Pritchard. 11th and another win in Super Heavy for Darren Holiday. 12th for Lee Schnitzler. 13th for Adam Moore. 14th for Robert Pertak. 15th and 2nd in Super Heavy for Nick Rowland. 16th and 3rd in Super Heavy for Darren Hughes. 17th for Blaise Sienko. 18th for Ian DeVere. 19th for Mark Ford. 20th Peter Hayes. 21st Paul Studd. 22nd Gary Martin. 23rd for Richard Newton. 24th for Eamon Carson. 25th for Tim Watts. 26th Paul Crucci. 27th Jonathan McLeod. 28th for Steve Porter. And 29th Wayne Dunham. Here on the podium, once again, another win for Darren Holiday. This Super Heavyweight Championship title charge is going pretty well.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, considering at the start of the season that wasn't the plan. Yeah, it seems to be going well, so long may it continue, yeah. If the budget will allow.
And Mrs. Holiday.
Oh, no, she's fine with it. We're past that.
Ah, good. That's one of the big ones out of the way then. Glanny Gores, what do you think of it as a circuit?
New favourite. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, it's just all the way up there, flat out, all the way up. It's just brilliant. Very exhilarating. So it's definitely a new favourite circuit.
Good stuff. Well done, Darren.
Thank you.
Keep the trophies rolling in, and hopefully we'll see you next time out as well. Let's bring in Rob. I don't know where to start with that. 3rd place though. Brilliant battling through the pack. Talk me through it.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest, to be starting 7th. I thought I could have done a bit better in qualifying, but and then in the race I just got held up at the beginning. I think it took me probably 10-15 laps just to get clear of a few people, and then towards the end of the race I think there was a few incidents, back markers. There was some laps there was blue flags, some laps there weren't, and then there was a couple of incidences where guys that should have been giving way under blues were racing amongst themselves, then they were racing with us, so that gave, I think, Tariq and the guys to catch up, and then yeah, the last 10 laps was hard work, real hard work, and I fortunately came out on top, so yeah, pleased.
Good stuff. I mean, it's a trophy and good points for the championship. How are you feeling about that going forward?
Yeah, I would have liked to have done a bit better, but you know, podiums, you've got to take a podium. It's good points.
Good stuff. Well done, Rob. Let's bring in our 2nd place man. Richard, you looked really, really pleased with that at the end. And championship-wise, the fact that you're in 2nd, Alex was down in 10th, and you've beaten Rob to 2nd place as well. I've got a feeling that you're pretty pleased with your efforts here today.
Yeah, no, cracking. I enjoyed the race. The track, the car struggled a little bit with back-end grip for about 10-15 minutes. The tyres come on, so I was losing a bit of time around the carousel corner. But yeah, obviously 2nd place. I'm well happy. Great points for the championship to extend the lead. Obviously now Rob Bennett is closing in now as well, I suppose. So yeah, it's interesting.
The circuits going forward that we're going to, which ones are you looking forward to as we go through the 2nd half of the season?
Well, this one was definitely a lovely track to drive, same as PFI, but I'm looking forward to Buckmore Park. Buckmore Park's my home track, so I'm going for a win. I am going for a win at Buckmore.
Good stuff. Buckmore's one of my favourites as well. Well done, Richard. Keep the good points rolling in. Let's bring our winner in, though. Matt, we talked before the race about potentially getting a trophy, bigger than Andy's trophy. You've done it. A win. I mean, you were just in a class of your own today.
No, I mean, once I got past 2nd place, I felt like I was trying to hunt down 1st, and I was gradually doing it, and then somehow pulled a move because it's really hard to pass people around here. But once I was passed, I thought, right, get a gap because it's quite easy to stay in people's like slipstream around here. So no, I was really pleased with it, and I wasn't expecting that at all.
This was your first appearance this season. Will we see you back?
I think that's been answered before. I'd love to do it like the whole season, but obviously if I can afford it, and I'll do a lot of shifts as well, so it's a bit tough to book it all off and stuff. So
Sponsors, back this man. He's got races to win. Well done, Matt. Absolutely fantastic drive here today, and have a safe journey home. Let's bring DJ in. I don't know what to say about that one. I mean, the battle between first and second, great in the early stages of the race. Then we had that huge scrap for third place in the latter stages. In the end, it's Rob Bennett who takes the spoils of war. Just sum that up for me, if you can.
Well, just watching that in itself, there was quite a bit of contact throughout, but obviously Race Director have looked at it, they've gone with the results, and that's what we've got. But just all through that, a crazy, crazy race. And just looking at these times, the top 5 separated by 5/10 or 5/100ths of a second. So barely anything, really close in the karts. And what a race. What a race.
Absolutely. Brilliant weather, brilliant racing. If you want to be on the grid for round 5 and beyond for the 2018 Daytona DMAX Heavies Enduro Series, get on the website, www.daytonamax.co.uk. All the details are on the screen. We'll see you out on the track for round 5.